right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to ETF 101. We survived number 100. It was such a blast. Not only it was a milestone, but it was trying not to be biased, but it might have been like maybe one of the top five ever, easy. So, yes, hello, everyone. My name is Patrick. I hope you guys are doing great. So tonight it is TV time. I know that usually after quirky questions, we go movie, then TV, then quirky questions again, or whatever else. But let's switch things up. And we have a skeleton crew tonight. Only two guests. First, we have Nick Bambach. How are you?
I'm doing well, Patrick.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome back. We also have Mike Drew. Hello.
Hello. Greetings from very warm Southern Ontario.
Yes, we had an amazing day here as well. I don't know if you guys can see me because I tan very easily and I don't know if it shows, but there you go. Yes, gorgeous day here as well. So what better opportunity to talk about something to go along with great weather than
staying inside and just getting a tan from the TV?
Yes, exactly. Getting blasted with TV rays. All right, so let's see what we've got. Let's start with Nick. What do you have for us?
Well, thank you, Patrick. And again, congratulations on episode 100.
Thank you.
So it's your triple digits now, but it doesn't look. It's as new as ever and as good as ever, the ETF.
He doesn't look a day over episode 27.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully not like the 27 club, though.
Oh, 28, 29, whatever.
Oh, 28,
Yeah.
28. Patrick's like, oh, wait,
The
the
27. Okay, yeah, it took me a second, but yeah, good joke. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, I never made that connection, and I should have been a music guy. But
That's fine.
My
That's
mind
okay.
is warped, by the way. So,
That's you
guys know this. First show, the Pitt season 2. So that ended. That was my favorite show of last year. And I just thought, it's one of those shows that just flew by every episode and you just had to almost binge watch it, which I really don't like to do personally. I know some of our friends on the show, they like to binge watch. I have to do a couple, then need a palate cleanser of something else to watch to balance it out. But this is one of those shows where I waited until I think it was at this 2/3 point, and then I started to watch it because I was like, I know I'm just gonna plow through it. Noah Wiley's as great as he ever was on the show. He is the heart and soul of it. And I love the realism and the rawness of everything that's happening. Because on this season, it takes place on the 4th of July weekend, and all these crazy things happen at the hospital. And I think the writing is as good as ever, and it's a really great ensemble cast. What I did not like about this show is I think the new characters that they introduced, our friend Tony could probably attest to this, they're not really likable, or they're just one note, or they're just who cares? You don't feel an attachment to them as much as the ones from season 1 that bled over into season 2. Okay. And I feel that was my kind of thoughts on that. And even sometimes I feel that's a show too where it felt maybe it was a couple episodes too many. It felt there was more filler on season 2 than season 1, but it's still, I think, the best show on TV, in all honesty.
Okay.
It deserves all the accolades, honestly.
I haven't started season 1 yet. It's on my list, but I don't know what's stopping me.
I think I have to be in the mood for a medical drama.
Yeah, probably that, yeah.
I haven't been, so...
Is it on your list or you just don't care?
Yeah, we have it on our list. But I just, there's always something else to kind of fill. And you know what? I hear, to pull back the curtain a little bit, Nick and I are both wrestling fans. We talk about it sometimes. And, but Raw or Dynamite is on every week, right? And I can't watch it every week, nor do I really want to watch it every week. So I'll be honest, I listen to podcasts that give me, that condense a 2-hour show into 20 minutes. And this is what happened. This is what he said. This is, where they went, whatever. So for me, a medical, you guys talk about the Pitt so often that I'm kind of I feel I know what it is anyway. And through the clips I've seen online and stuff, but I don't know. I'd like to see it eventually, but I feel it'll just have to be the right time and place.
You definitely have to be in the mood for the Pitt just because it's this emotional roller coaster too, because I think that's what makes it work so well, is that it's a show that you really care about the characters and you really care about the circumstances. And quite frankly, I think it's very realistic in how it depicts like a shift in the life of these emergency workers at the hospital. But it's also a show, I'm going to give you guys full disclosure, do not eat while you watch this show, because you see a lot of graphic stuff. And
I've heard about
like,
that.
So, but it's a great show, and I love Noah Wiley. He's America's doctor, in my opinion. Like, the man just can do no wrong. And I'm really happy, by the way, he's getting his flowers, because I always loved him on ER. And he was on the Librarians TV show, and I am a librarian. So I just think that that's some connection I have with him. But he's just a really wonderful, charismatic actor, and I'm really glad that people are recognizing it finally.
I love the ER ran for like 15 seasons or 13 or something. I watched the first maybe 6 or 7 seasons. I thought it was amazing and I loved it. And then at some point I was like, okay, I'm good. And I bailed and I didn't look back.
That was the exact same.
Okay. Do you remember when?
Yeah, it would have been after like 3 or 4 seasons.
Okay.
I just remember it was right around the time I started university. So, and it was on a Thursday night as well, which was the Friends and stuff. So in university here, like that tended to be your night to go out. But, you know, we would often go to somebody's place and prior to leaving, and, you know, sometimes I would see that, or sometimes we'd even tape it and then watch it later. But then I just, eventually I was kind of like, oh, I don't know how many more things can happen. I remember there was that one big episode where Noah Wiley his character got stabbed. And it was like a big thing that happened. And I remember, I don't remember exactly when that was, but it probably wouldn't have been long after that. I'm like, okay, I'm not sure where they can kind of go after that.
Him and Christy Martin as well, I think in the same, no, Kelly Martin, what was her name? Like,
ooh, I know who you're talking, I can picture her, but
she died, but he did not.
Right.
And I remember, I might have bailed like maybe 1 or 2 seasons after that. Dr. Green, Anthony Edwards was still alive when I bailed because he died at some point. I don't know. I would need to, take a closer look or at exactly when I bailed.
Yeah, me too.
It is a show too that like he left. I think that's the misconception. He didn't stay on the whole time. He left, I think, after like 11 or 12 seasons. And then it went on for, I think, 15 total, something like that. So it's really interesting how almost all the ER actors everyone really stayed the course the entire time.
Yeah.
So, but I love the Pitt. I highly recommend it. The next show I'm going to talk about is a show you guys talked about, and you mentioned me, which I was very honored because I was starting this show and I finally finished it. Industry, season 4.
Okay.
So Patrick, did you end up watching the earlier seasons?
Not yet, and I don't know. Like, how can I say? I know it's interesting to see, every character progressing into what they become, but I feel like I'll watch it when I watch it. I'm good if I never watch it,
It's a show that I would make the argument you kind of have to at some point, because you'll see the progression of all the characters, especially Harper and Eric, who were like the 2 core characters, because it's radical changes. And even Yasmin, who's the other female lead on the show, and you kind of can understand like how trauma affects them in different ways, and different situations and circumstances lead them to who they are in this most recent season. And it's a weird show because I didn't realize too that they're every 2 years apparently. So they really take their time to make them, because the first season was 2020 and then COVID postponed it, and then season 2 was 22 and so on. But it was just really interesting how they take their time to write these episodes and to make it and it's actually going to end after season 5, whenever that comes, I guess in 28, I assume.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot that. Okay.
I like how they they continue to have a lot of these characters that are just get flushed out, and really you get to know more. And I like the new characters that they added. Like they added this one guy who has he's like a scammer CEO bro guy, and he's terrible, but I liked him, even though they're all sleazy, terrible, worst people ever.
That was the guy based in Africa, I think.
Yeah, the South African guy.
Yes, he played in. He was in the bank job with Jason Statham. He was one of the crew, if you remember.
You mentioned Jason.
Well, yeah, my shit. Okay.
That's a first on the ETF, folks. And I do like what they say about things like mental health and class and gender and toxic masculinity and stuff like that. One thing I will say about this show that I maybe don't like, and maybe it's just me, is I feel like, because you've watched it, Patrick, is it very jargon heavy? Like, I don't really understand everything that they're talking about with the financial market. I'm kind of like, okay, I guess.
Yeah, but like, I don't disagree, but I felt that the context was enough to fill you in, quote unquote. Like, you didn't need to understand every technical bit, but you could figure out that, okay, this is bad. This is good, you know? So I get what you're saying, but I didn't feel it was a problem.
Yeah, I don't know. Just some of it, I'm like, it's almost like calculus, and I just don't understand. Maybe apologies if I'm not up to sync with it, but I don't know. It's just one of the things that kind of keeps me from sometimes loving the show. Also, I felt like some of the subplots were a little, like, it just didn't feel like they were fully developed, or it just didn't feel like they were, like, I didn't care really, because it kept circling around like Harper and Eric, and they go to episode 2 really where they're not the focus, and it was like Yasmin, and it's like, can we just get to like the people that we are supposed to care about? Although that one girl, that one white girl, I think the British girl, she was like the MVP of the season, the one that was working, and she I can't think of her name, the character.
Yeah, she had a strange name, right?
Yes.
Okay.
She had like a nickname, but like her name is gonna bother me. See, folks, I should come prepared on the ETF. I'm just like, character nickname. But she was like amazing, the character, and I loved her to death on this season.
Now it's bothering me, so I have to look it up.
I'm sorry, Patrick.
No, that's okay. Keep going.
Is it Sarah Parrish? She plays Nicole Craig.
No, it was, oh God, what was her name? Jesus.
Because she's a great actor.
No, Sweet Pea Golightly.
Yes, Sweet Pea Golightly.
Miriam Becci.
That's her.
Okay.
I loved her on the show. She was amazing.
Yeah, she was great. Yes.
And I also like Kit Harington as the guy Hangry. That's like, I thought he was amazing on this show. It showed his vulnerability because he was on, I think, Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Jon Snow. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
So,
and he was in a surprisingly decent TV movie. Mike, you remember the series Spooks?
Mm-hmm.
There was kind of a follow-up to it called MI5.
Aren't they the same show?
Yes, but
there was different character changes and stuff. And then,
well, I mean, like the guy Harry.
Yeah.
Harry something.
Yeah.
Anyway, that guy, he is in the TV movie as well, and the TV movie is called MI5. Let me look it up.
Ooh. Yeah, Harry was like the main boss.
Yes.
And he's the main boss on this show too, ironically, or one of the main bosses.
Kit Harington, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, Kit Harington was more of a junior spy in the TV movie. But here is kind of an aristocrat who is, trying his luck in finance and with mixed results, let's say.
Peter Firth.
Yes, that's it. Mm-hmm. And Harry Pierce. That's the name. Yes. Okay. So yeah, we'll get it eventually.
And he had Ruth as his his second, remember, like his PA.
Yes.
Which is Nicola Walker, who's an amazing actor as well.
Yes, absolutely. That's true. All right.
Sorry, we went off on British TV tangents. Sorry, Nick.
Well, no, the show is very British. I think it's a BBC production.
I think it is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and this is a show for listeners, by the way. I'm not really one for closed captioning, really, because usually I can understand most vernaculars, especially British. This is a hard one. You have to have subtitles because some of the accents are so thick, I felt like, for me, that I was like, I couldn't really understand half the characters.
I always have subtitles on, so I couldn't tell you if this was especially more difficult than other series. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm just like sitting over here thinking like, I need the damn subtitles to understand these characters sometimes.
Well, I mean, sometimes the audio mix is really weird, and you cannot hear the people talk over the sound of the city, so that's okay.
But Nick,
I'll finish off
Oh, sorry.
One thing about this show that I love is that they use retro music, like 80s music, especially really well in the show. And they use like Pet Shop Boys or New Order songs or Erasure, but they use it really effectively within the thematic context of the episodes. So it has really amazing needle drops, is what I'm saying.
I was going to say that, yes. And to go back and to close the parentheses on MI5, MI5 in some countries, but other title was called Spooks, The Greater Good.
Yeah, in the UK it was called Spooks.
Okay, there you go. Okay. But like Spooks, the series, that ran for a long time, but like that TV movie with Kit Harington, Spooks,
The Greater
Good.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw that.
It's not bad.
You have to check it out.
Yeah, it's, it's all right. From 2015. Okay, so yes, what else do you have, Nick?
Rooster season 1, the Bill Lawrence show with Steve Carell. I love Steve Carell and I will watch anything Steve Carell does. He's just one of those performers for me that he's just so likable and I think he's funny. And it's a good return to TV for him, especially in a more lighthearted comedic role that he's playing. Have you guys watched it? Or either one of you?
I watched parts of it, but it wasn't bad. What I've seen was okay, but I didn't feel the need to go back to it. Maybe I watched the first 3 episodes and I was like, yeah, okay, it's fine, but like I'm not going to make an effort to go back to it,
So in my house right now, we are plowing through The Office.
UK or US?
No, the American, because my son, we did Parks and Rec last, and this was kind of the next, and he took to it pretty well. So I'm seeing a lot of Steve Carell at the moment. So when Rooster came out, I kind of mentioned it to the family and said, "Hey, there's this new one with him." And I watched the trailer. I don't know. I'm sure it'll come up. It's on our list. I'm sure we'll dive in at some point, but it just wasn't the trailer itself and wasn't drawing me in. So Nick, this is your chance. This is to tell me that I need to watch it or I can pass it.
I think it's a show that if you like Bill Lawrence's other works, it's very much in that same synergy. And I think that is a good and bad thing. It just depends on if you like that quirky kind of almost fantastical humor, where it feels like on this show, a lot of the characters are not real people. Like they're very exaggerated. I can't explain better than that. But I think really it's the performances that are the best part, especially Steve Carell. I think he's wonderful in the role. And I think it's like, to me, this is the definition of like something that's like comfort TV in the sense that, you have to think really, it's only a half hour each episode. So you don't have to really get too settled into the world of Rooster and the college or university that they take place on. And I think it actually works well in terms of balancing the humor and having a good heart too. Like it's just like it hits that sweet spot for me. But I do think to me, the biggest problem with the show is that it doesn't really gel tonally a lot. Like there's a lot of like tonal shifts. So like one episode, it deals like more heavier issues, but it doesn't seem like it's in the spirit of these characters. And it just seems like because it's 10 episodes, it's like they're trying to like bide more time to get more content. And it just felt like some of it didn't really gel well, or you're like, oh, this isn't as like a funny episode. This is more like a heartwarming episode or a heavier dramatic episode. So I felt like it just didn't land sometimes when they were dealing with heavier issues. And heavy issues, I mean, in like in one of the episodes, no spoiler, he's in the college classroom, he's in a seminar class, and he is essentially accused of sexual harassment. And then the next scene is like him like having jello shots with some of his students. Like it just doesn't make sense. And
I remember that, yeah.
Like, what are we doing here, kind of?
Yeah.
And I think it's also a little too familiar, some of the tropes. And I think that's the Ted Lasso kind of effect. You've felt like you've watched this before. Almost like it doesn't feel original. Like it hasn't found its voice yet. So that's why I'm curious when season 2, the way they set up season 1, the way it's ended, it almost guarantees a season 2.
It's been renewed. So, yeah.
But if you're not a huge Carell fan, Mike, you don't need to watch it. But if you do like him, watch it.
He's good at Michael Scott. I watched him in a show called, I believe it was called The Four Seasons. Was it The Four Seasons? Which got picked up for a second season as well. And spoiler, because it's been out for almost a year.
Spoiler warning.
He dies at the end of the first season. So put that sound drop in there, Patrick.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I didn't love that show. Like, it was okay. It was watchable. I'm curious to know what they're going to do because his character's obviously not going to be in season 2 unless it's through flashbacks or what have you. But like you said with this I haven't watched Rooster. I find it tricky myself to adapt to shows where it's almost OTT, the character, right? Like acting wise. At times, obviously, The Office is guilty of that, but I think there's enough grounded characters that keep, even when those start to float away, the other ones can kind of pull it back in. And some episodes are just OTT and they're not for me. But there's so many of them that's few and far between. Rooster, yeah, I don't know. You didn't really sell it to me, and I know that's not what you were going to try to do there, but yeah, I don't know. And 4 seasons, like I said, I love Tina Fey. She's going to come up in one of my things, actually. And, I thought those characters were a little OTT at times, and in this 4 seasons, and yeah, I don't know.
That's how it is in Rooster, because they're almost exaggerated versions of the people that they play, which I think works well sometimes. But then sometimes you're like, okay, that is not good in the context of the scene or the situation that they're discussing. But I do want to give a shout out to Danielle Dayweather, who's on the show.
Deadweiler, you mean?
I'm sorry, Danielle Deadweiler.
Yes, that's all right. No problem.
She's wonderful. She's a really great dramatic actor. She was in Till and The Piano Lesson and other movies like that. She's really a great actress. And so I was intrigued by her being on the show too. And the girl who plays his daughter is really good too.
Charlie Clive? I don't know. There is something. I mean, I get what you're saying. She is good, but there's something about her that annoys me.
That's the character.
Probably.
Her husband annoyed the shit out of me, Archie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's Phil Dunster, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. He just like obnoxious Brit that just sorry, Ruth. Just like I was like, oh my God, get this mofo off my screen.
Well, I mean, he's like that in the first season of Ted Lasso as well.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot he was on that show.
Yeah, but there's a huge character arc with his character, arguably the biggest on the show, and yeah, he becomes a very obviously Ted Lasso season 4 is coming out, and I'm very much looking forward to it. But my worry is that what you had mentioned earlier with this show, Nick, was I disagree with you in the sense that Ted Lasso didn't feel familiar to me, but I worry that this new season will.
Oh, I would say about Rooster felt too familiar
Rooster. Yeah,
to
sorry.
other shows.
I thought you'd said that about Ted Lasso was like that as well. Sorry.
No, it's just like it follows that Bill Lawrence type of formula. And I think that it's almost like Apatow, like Judd Apatow movies, where it's like you've seen one and they have a template and you got to check every box. That's what Rooster felt like sometimes when you're compared to something like Ted Lasso.
Oh, okay.
But not Ted Lasso. That's a really great show.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did Cougar Town, Spin City, Ground Floor, Ted Lasso, Shrinking, as well as the animated series Clone High, Bill Lawrence. Okay.
I can see that.
All right. What else do you have, Nick?
My next show is going to be Hal and Harper, which is on Mubi, and it's directed, written, and created by Cooper Rife. He is a up-and-coming filmmaker from Austin, Texas. He did Shithouse and Cha Cha Real Smooth. The latter was on Apple TV Plus, and that was a pretty big hit as a movie. And this show, Hal and Harper, was shopped around at Sundance, I believe, or one of the film festivals, like the pilot, and Mubi got it. And that's a streaming platform that's kind of similar to the Criterion Channel in terms of like they specialize in art house, classics, documentaries, stuff like that. They did The Substance. Like your listeners probably know The Substance.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes.
And movies like that. So they're doing TV now. And so this is one of the big things that they've been trying to roll out. So the cast has Rife, because he's acts in all of his films. But the big name really is Mark Ruffalo is in the cast.
Just saw that, yeah.
And Lily Reinhart. And Lily Reinhart, for listeners that might know her name, she was on Riverdale. That was on the CW. So they're all very famous in their own right, but it's weird because it's a show that's on a platform that nobody watches or subscribes to. And even me, and I'm just use myself as an example, I'm a voter for the Independent Film Spirit Awards, and I only watched this because I got a free subscription, but I would never pay for it because I feel like there's too many out there already. And it's only on Mubi. Like, you can't rent it, you can't watch it any other way.
Okay.
And it's a shame because it's a really interesting show. So it's about the Reinhardt and Reif. They play brother and sisters, and they're essentially, it's like telling their life story about their relationship with their dad. That's very complex and kind of crazy in many ways, like the dynamics of their family. Now, the kick about this show that is really weird, and I think this is why I wish it was on a bigger platform like HBO or Netflix, is that Reinhardt and Reif, they play the child versions of the characters that they're playing. So, like, it's in the present, let's say 2025 when the show came out, but it goes back to like 2008 or 9 or whenever they were younger kids.
Mm-hmm.
But they make it work, especially Reif, because they're so childlike, because it could be disastrous if it's not the right actors in those roles. But I thought it took me a minute to process it, but it ended up working because they would say something that began like, oh, in 2008 or 2009 or whatever year it takes place in the past, where they play the 7 and 9-year-old versions of themselves. But then they would kind of bounce back to like the present to try to understand why they are the way that they are and how good or bad their lives are.
Mm-hmm.
And Ruffalo's on the show, and he's, of course, a very big name. I think that the show works well in terms of having really good performances. I really like the formula as it grew on me. And it felt very authentic. Reif is one of those filmmakers who everything you hear, you actually believe that these characters are saying things that felt authentic. Like, they don't feel like caricatures like Rooster in a way, like we were just talking about. But I think this show sometimes, it's 9 episodes, and they range from a half hour to an hour each one. And I think it kind of, there's a lot of pacing issues with the show. Like, there's a lot of episodes where you're like, okay, like, why did we need to show this? Or what was the point? And it doesn't really mix the comedy and drama, which is weird because he's known for comedy, like more like laugh out loud funny. And this is more, I mean, I think it's more of a drama than a comedy, even though they label it as a comedy drama. Have you guys even heard of this show?
Nope.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I mean, no one does. That's the point almost to bring
it's
up.
only on Mubi, which is interesting. Okay. So yeah, guys, anyone who's got a Mubi subscription, check it out. All right. What else do you have?
Jury Duty presents Company Retreat. That's on Amazon Prime. So they had the first season a couple years ago. Me and Kyle love this show.
Okay.
And it's basically like a mockumentary type of show where they put someone who is like a real person into like a fictional world, and they try to like make it, work. So the first season was like a jury duty, like a court case.
Mm-hmm.
This one is like a company retreat in California. And I like that show. Have you guys heard of that show?
Yep.
Nope.
And apparently in the first season, the main character was super likable, right?
The second one is even more likable, I would argue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know of what you're talking. I've never seen it though.
He's kind of like not dumb, the guy in the first season, but he's more like, oh shucks, kind of like it's like he's wholesome, I guess. This guy, he is so lovely and nice, and I think even one of the characters says like, if I have a son, I wish you were like him. He was like you, because he's just really kind-hearted and nice, and it was really a nice show to watch. And I love this too because they're only like a half hour, and they're just a breeze to watch, and you don't have to really think too much. And I love the wackiness of how they put these shows together, because they have to be very articulate, because there's like a cast and crew and every scenario that you could think of in case if something goes not as planned. It's really wonderful. The one thing I fear about this show is because it takes so long, like I think about 2 or 3 years in between seasons, is that it might just make it lack, I don't want to say authenticity, but it just felt like there was like an edge that was missing. Like, I felt like the first season, it was like more clever. This one, it just felt like they just put it in a company retreat. And I don't know, it just felt like, I'm just worried that the premise is going to wear out at some point.
I think the first season was on that, remember that streaming service that Amazon had that was like a free one?
Freebie.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes, 2023, but now on Prime, 2026, March 20th. Okay.
I enjoyed it. The next show that I'm going to talk about is Born to Bowl, which is on HBO. That's a documentary series that A24 did. And it's about the PBA tour in 2024. I was intrigued because I don't know if you guys know this about me. I was a state bowling champion in high school. I was on a team.
What?
Yeah, I know. See,
Wow.
I think Mike's like, I didn't know this about Nick until.
No. It's like
So I
good
was-
thing we didn't go bowling when you came up to visit.
I've lost my edge a lot as I got older.
We're going bowling next time you come up to visit.
Hell yes. And we're going to brain the family.
There you go.
I've also a lot of my bowling skills as I got older. I think it's just because of movement and I don't know. It's for fun more. But I was intrigued because of bowling, because I like bowling, obviously. And it just focuses on this tour. And Ben Stiller is the executive producer of the show, too.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fine show. I mean, it's really interesting because it's very formulaic because there's only a half hour each and there's 5 episodes. I like the bowlers for the most part because I know not like I could not name one famous bowler to save my life, but
Same.
so like I mean I was like learning things as we were going along, and I kind of like how it gives you like a quasi or condensed history of bowling, but at the same time keeping it entertaining and kind of, you know, engaging at times. The one thing that I will say about the show sometimes is that I think they started with one idea of like where they wanted to go, but they didn't know how to finish it. And then it was kind of like, well, that's the end of the tour. And you're just like, it felt like a very jarring shifts between each of the episodes and then who they focused on and how much time they were given and then how it ended. I was a little like not disappointed, but I was a little, I don't think they finished how they initially started or they conceptually thought about it.
Okay.
It's like they went like halfway through or 3/4 and they're like, oh, this is really what it's going to be about. It just felt like it didn't feel like a lot of the stories connected or they weren't as flushed out as I hoped they would be.
It's like they ran out of time to figure things out almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are each episode, excuse me, are each episode about a bowler or are they about like a time and space?
That's the caveat to the show too. So some bowlers get multiple episodes where like, because it's usually they spotlight 2 bowlers on each episode, but they only focus on maybe 5 or 6 at most. But then some episodes are about just one bowler, and then another one is 2, and then they go back. It's too much back and forth. And then you're like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. And why not just stay with the guy? You know what I mean? So it felt like a little, not amateurish, but it felt a little unpolished, I guess.
Disjointed.
Yeah, disjointed's a good word for that.
Okay.
So it's worth a watch. I mean, you don't have to be a bowling fan. It's only half hour. So 2.5 hours. It's a good show to just cruise by and just watch. A show I did not really like as much is the show Neighbors, which was also on HBO, also A24.
Oh yeah, I think I saw some like trailers for it or commercial ads for it, and I was like, it made me want to punch a hole through my screen. Like, what a bunch of vile people.
Patrick,
sorry, I didn't even watch it.
please.
You know?
I watched it with my dad. I visited them one weekend, and it was me and my dad who were home for the weekend, and we're like, oh, do you want to watch this show? And it was like, okay, like it seems kind of interesting. It's just very eccentric people. Clearly they have mental health issues. Clearly they have all these like things wrong with them, like it's beyond the constraints of the show. Because for the listeners, it's about neighbors who dispute things with other neighbors. So it's like over like land and property or valuables or whatever it may be. Like they're feuding essentially. And I just think that it's kind of exploitative. And I think that it really just minimizes like the legal aspects of what they're actually focusing on and like the problems. But also, like I said, I think it just really, these characters are just insane for the most part. Like some of the things that they go to, you're like, you should be in a loony bin for like ever.
In jail, at least.
Oh,
yeah.
Horrible.
I guess some people like that sort of stuff, but like, get those freaks away from my screen or something. I don't understand the appeal.
I think that's what made like in the 90s, all those chat shows, all those talk shows, so popular, right? Like Springer and you name it. And I never understood that.
Yeah.
I just, you know what it is too, is like they use a lot of like jump cuts and they try to be like edgy, quote unquote. And they have this thing that they do, Patrick, that Mike, and this is like a trope that I hate with a passion, is when they do like that fisheye 360 camera and like they kind of like go from like the like space and they go and hyper focus on like wherever in Montana. And at the end of the episode, they go back and pull it back. And it's nauseating. And I hate it with a passion so much.
It's like using Google Maps to zoom in, or?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I get it.
It's just like a trope where I'm like, it's just so tacky and I hate it with a passion. Like, I don't know. And then there was an episode, I gotta just say, because this was like, some people thought this was the best episode of TV in a long time, but it was disturbing as hell. The one episode that they focus on just the one guy, because each episode's usually on two different feuds or two different neighbor stories. The last episode of the first season, it's about this guy who he likes to show skin, quote unquote. And he's like this like 70-something-year-old guy who's like frail and tan, but he wears like nothing but a thong and he works out in the front yard and he lives across the street from a church and the neighbors ostracize him, rightfully so. And he's just an asshole in general. But then I was watching with my dad because we just watched it. And then the second half of the episode is like him going from California to Florida to go live in a nudist colony. And then I saw so much dong and like, I was like, okay, Dad, like I can't watch this anymore. Like we are turning this off because I cannot.
You can't watch this or you can't watch this while sitting beside your dad.
Both, Mike. I wanted to get bleach and just put them in my eyes and just never see again.
Well, I'm on the IMDb page and like the poster, like the thumbnail is there and it says new late night series. So that's always interesting.
In March 2026, HBO renewed the series for a second season. Fuck.
Probably because it cost them $12 to make.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you know what it is? Joff Safdie and Ronald Bronstein, who are pretty famous A24 regulars, they're the executive producers. I just saw that. Yeah, I should have said that at the beginning, and that's why it's getting a second season. And at the end of every episode, they have like, if you want to be on season 2, call this number or send us email.
God. Yeah,
right? Yeah, it is.
Fuck.
It's horrible. I was just like.
It's shit like this that keeps people angry, and I'm not gonna say it makes them stupid, but kind of.
Yes.
You know, it's complete.
No, it's horrible. No, Patrick, you're 100%. I could even go further. Just say, I think it's the type of television that's actually kind of dangerous because I feel like it's trying to simplify certain things that are not things to, joke around about. Like, basically showing your balls in front of kids and elders, it's just disgusting. I'm sorry. It's not even like, oh, these people are eccentric, like let's excuse them, they're weird. Like, no, these are like scum of the earth almost. Like, I know, I hate to say that, but like,
those places like Texas. Okay, I see Texas, I see Florida. I mean, there's been plenty of incidents that started like stupid shit like this and ended up with a shootout, and people killing each other over dumb shit like this,
It's so bad. I was so bad about this show. I was like, it made me angry.
It's got no redeeming qualities.
No, very few, if any.
Anyway.
My last show I'm just going to mention is Hulk Hogan Real American show. And I bring it up because Mike's
Speaking of violence.
Oh, we're going to go off on this.
Please.
I think it's a show that I had to come to terms with this because it's 4 episodes and they're about an hour to an hour and a half each. I watched it because I'm a huge professional wrestling fan like Mike, and I felt like an obligation because that's all everyone was talking about for weeks, it seems, like in the wrestling world. So I felt like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. Even though I can't stand Hulk Hogan, I can't stand him as a person, the wrestler, nothing. I never liked him even before all the bullshit that he inflicted on himself. But I think what I came to realization about this Real American show is that it's not a WWE production that's for WWE fans only. So like if you watch like those documentaries from like 20 years ago or 10 years ago, they produce them and they're DVDs, but they're meant for wrestling fans. This is meant for a general audience that's on Netflix. So it's like really balancing his life story and his professional wrestling career. Now, the latter, a lot of wrestling fans took issue like, oh, they didn't focus on this or that. But like, how do you do that when it's like an hour to an hour and a half and there's so much to cover? It's not just like, you know, like they didn't talk about like the Macho Man, for example, or Miss Elizabeth. And they didn't talk about really the NWO, really, or like the fallout with Vince Russo, like you're familiar, Mike, with the Bash at the Beach. Didn't really get mentioned at all.
But I also wonder if there's like, because there's a tie with WWE and Netflix now, I wonder because those things like happened on Ted Turner, right? Like the Turner networks and stuff. So I wonder if because Vince wasn't in control of any of that stuff.
I think also it's been covered to death, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the things I'm mentioning. So like it's kind of hard. I think I would almost prefer if they even almost didn't focus on his career, really, like the pro wrestling career, because some things they hyper focus on I thought were weird. So like we're getting to like the weeds, but like the Bret Hart 93 WrestleMania 9 thing, they focus on that for like 20 minutes. But
Why?
like because like Bret Hart felt screwed over and
He was screwed over.
He was. Oh, 100%. Oh, he was. And Bret Hart's the best part of this, by the way, because he just calls him an asshole.
Yeah.
He's like the realest person.
If you've never read Bret, sorry, Patrick, but if you've never read, even you don't even have to be a wrestling fan, but Bret Hart's book is probably, in my opinion, is probably the greatest wrestling book of all time because he's so articulate as well, but he also just calls a spade a spade. And yeah, this doesn't surprise me that I was surprised he was actually a talking head in it because I've seen those clips, but I refuse to watch this show.
Because I've heard that it also skipped on a lot of the bad or questionable stuff that he did. Like he was informing.
Oh, the unionizing?
Yes,
they didn't touch that.
Yeah,
that's another thing.
Okay.
And see, that's the WWE link. I would guarantee it.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Because now for context too, the TKO took them over, so now they're even more corporate and even more stingy. And to be fair, they're always hagiographic about their own history. Like any documentary or product, it's the truth and it's their truth, really. And they're going to stick by it. But there's just a lot of things here, and I can't stand him as the person. And I think that's my biggest problem is that you can't separate the character from the person. And Hulk Hogan is a notorious liar or exaggerator of the truth. So like, you don't know if he's putting on a promo or he's trying to sell you something or if it's actually what happened. So it's really, it's frustrating. Like to me, this was such a hard watch. It took me actually 2 weeks to watch it because I can't stand the guy. So I went like 4 or 5 days, like 3 or 4 days in between episodes because it's just like one shithead after another shithead and then bottom of the barrel human beings. And they didn't even go into Gawker too, by the way. That's the other thing. They didn't get to like
they didn't go into Gawker?
No, they didn't go into the Bubba the Love Sponge thing, really. I mean, Brooke wasn't mentioned, but his daughter, because she didn't want to participate in it. She kind of like disowned the family. As she's mentioned like in passing because of Hogan knows best, but that was barely covered at all.
Wow.
Jesus.
When a major part of the narrative about you, like that whole sex tape and Gawker, like that's a huge story, right?
Oh, yeah.
That just proves to me that TKO or WWE, whoever, or Netflix, right? Somebody's like, yeah, we're not talking about that. It's lost all credibility right there.
Yep, exactly.
And the selling point to this is that this was his last interview, quote unquote, before he died. And that's the other thing, too, is like the way that they were making this, it felt like they changed course with the 4th episode because he died in the middle of the production and when they edited it. So I don't know. As a wrestling fan, it's not the whole story, but also like,
skip.
Skip it. And I'm not a fan of it. I'm sorry.
No, don't be.
Yeah. I didn't realize they didn't talk about that. But again, I knew I wasn't going to watch this. And like, I never watched the Vince McMahon one that Netflix did either. And same reason, I was like, I know that this is not, I'm not saying they're not going to present him, you know, they're not going to mention some of that the darker stuff, but they're not going to dwell on some of the things I think they should probably. So
They're going to gloss over it at best.
A really quick thing, because you mentioned McMahon, he's only a voiceover until the 4th and final episode, and then he's at his funeral that you finally see Vince on screen, like not in archival footage like perspective. So that was weird too, and I know why they did that, of course, but it felt very odd. Like, I don't really understand the logic of this.
Can you tell us why?
Because he was Me Too'd essentially, and he was driven out of the wrestling business. So, like, I mean, he had to sell his right, Mike. I mean, is that in a nutshell?
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah,
okay.
He's been shunned from TKO and stuff, and I'm sure that those voiceovers were probably archival as well. I would be very surprised if they were new. I mean, I guess they could have been, but
remembering, I think they were almost all archival.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's talked about Hogan. I bet you there's thousands and thousands of hours of audio of that, right? So
Golden Goose, essentially.
I would watch.
That's
I would
true.
watch 4.5 hours of Bret Hart just slamming them. That'd be awesome.
Oh, well, Mike, it's amazing. So some of his one-liners about it are amazing. And not that we're going to talk about because I didn't see it, but there's a new Shawn Michaels Peacock documentary that Bret is bitchy as ever. And he's like, it's just like, I can't because Bret Hart's my favorite wrestler of all time too. Like, for the record.
One of mine.
Oh, but he gets like bitter. It's like bitter. It's just, so good.
He's Mad Mike on TV Tropes.
Nice.
Just calls it out. Doesn't give it.
I love him though. I don't give a flying shit.
Well, I think that's the thing. Like, he has nothing to prove.
No.
And I also heard, I do know a couple of people that have met him, and I've not heard any bad reports.
No.
Like, I think he's just, if you're genuine with him, he'll be genuine with you, kind of thing. So, yeah.
Right. Okay, so that's it for you, Nick.
Yes, thank you guys for putting up with all my shenanigans.
No
All
problem.
right, listen. Thanks for listening to the Nick Bambach podcast.
Yes. Thank you.
Brought to you by Rock and Retrospect. No, I'm kidding.
All right. Okay, so Mike, what do you have for us?
All right, I'm going to start with the one I like the least, actually, because I'm just kind of bounce around because it kind of some segue into others. So,
Sure.
season 4 of The Lincoln Lawyer. I gave it 3 episodes and I gave up. I liked the show. I really liked the first 2 seasons, but this season, the main character is Mickey Haller, who's the Lincoln lawyer, and he gets in trouble, and he's kind of the driver of this story, pardon the pun. But yeah, I just, after 3 episodes, my wife and I watched it together. I turned to her, I said, I'm done. I said, you can watch the rest if you want. And she did. And she filled me in what happened at the end. But I didn't like where it was going. I didn't like, I won't say he gets accused of something. And for some of it, he's in prison trying to, figure out how he's going to defend himself. And it just seemed, not that it's not saying that it's far-fetched was wrong, but I couldn't believe it, even though I liked the characters. And yeah, it just wasn't for me. So yeah.
Is Neve Campbell on this season?
She is. Yeah. So my wife told me that she kind of comes into it more. Obviously, when he gets in trouble, and they share a daughter because they're divorced, but so she's in it quite a bit, actually. And I like Neve. Like, I told you I went to a party with her 30 plus years ago.
Wait, no, you have not told this story.
No, we didn't know
I
that.
thought I had mentioned that before. Yeah, when I was at university, I had a friend that invited me to a party in Toronto, and she happened to be there. And I didn't talk to her or anything. It was a huge house, and it was like super busy, and she was there, and I saw her from a distance. And we knew, so there used to be this show in Canada called Catwalk, and I think that might have been like one of her first kind of major roles. It was a terrible Canadian television show. At the time, I thought it was funny, but it's not supposed to be funny. That's the difference. But she was in it, and super cute, obviously. And everybody had a major crush on her. And she happened to be at this party. So
she was already kind of known.
Yeah. I think
okay.
It would have been around 95, 96, something like that. So like 30 years ago ish.
Catwalk from 92 until 94.
Yeah.
So that would make sense. Yeah. Okay.
So,
yeah.
So I didn't care for that. I didn't care for the newest season. And there's going to be another season, apparently.
Okay.
Which, if it goes back to where he's actually representing a client, I I might give it another try, but this season didn't do anything for me.
Fifth and final season, which will be based on the 7th book in the series, Resurrection Walk.
Oh, okay.
So there you go.
There you go. Now, I will say that there is a new season of this 4th season of Will Trent. I've talked about Will Trent on this before, and it is the exact opposite. This is easily the best season of Will Trent. It has been fantastic. The characters just continue to develop, and each of them have their own kind of place in the story, but they're all kind of equal, and you find yourself start going, well, what about this character? Because you haven't seen them in a while or something, or because they may not be a main part of one of the stories. Because obviously, the Lincoln Lawyer is a one story over 10 episodes, whereas, Will Trent for the most part is, one story per episode or maybe over 2 episodes. But it has been fantastic. And for a network drama, like, honestly, if it had gone to... They always talk about it's on Hulu as well. So even if it was like a Hulu show and they could get away with a bit more, like, it's still pretty, because they're based on the I'm terrible with names of authors. I'm terrible with names.
Series Karen Slaughter
books, right? And I've said to my wife, who's read some of them, I'm like, man, like, for network TV too, like, this is kind of gruesome. And she's like, and so again, if it had been on a Hulu or an HBO or something, like, I can just imagine how much further it would have went. And she's like, oh yeah, those books are like that. So, that's not what makes it great, but it's just great. Like, the acting is fantastic. The stories have been fantastic. The character development's been fantastic. It is easily one of the best. It's nice because it's kind of like, and I always relate it to music. It's kind of like, so many bands come out or artists come out with a great debut record. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one, maybe it's okay or whatever. And then, this is like the 4th album and it's better than the first 3. So
wow.
It's really good. I'm a big fan of it.
Okay.
I've never heard of this show, Mike. What is it about, Will Trent?
So he works for a special agency in Atlanta, he calls it the GBA. So I guess it's like the
Georgia Bureau of Investigation.
Or GBI, right?
GBI, yes.
Yeah. And so he's kind of a detective. He's kind of a cop, but he doesn't work for in the police station, because there are other characters who do work in the police station and they all work together. It's not like, oh my God, the feds are coming, we can't talk to them. It's not like that. They do incorporate into each other's, narratives and stuff. It's amazing. It's just and the guy who plays Will Trent, who's, I'm so bad. Ramon Rodriguez.
Yes.
Fantastic. Just the most, he's so believable. And this season, there's a couple episodes that are very dramatic because there's a family member that gets kidnapped. I won't give much more than that away, but it's super believable. It's not like it's far-fetched or where did this come from? Like, if you've been watching since the first season and his backstory, it all kind of makes sense. I'm sure that if you came in on season 4, it would also stand alone fine. But yeah, this is one of those shows, again, unlike the Lincoln Lawyer, that just continues to get better. So yeah, I was very impressed with it.
Police procedural. So that's like there is no comedy in it. It's like,
yeah, there might be the odd line or something, but no, it's
otherwise it's serious
dramatic
stuff. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I think you sold me, Mike, because I've seen all the promotional material. It's him and a dog.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's her name? Darn it. He has a little. Yeah. Fantastic. And
Betty.
That's right. Betty. And you just because he's so, once you get to know the character, his backstory and how he grew up and what he's been, what he does and, the way he's progressed, and then he gets this little dog and it's just sunshine for him. Right. So, but it's fantastic. It's so great. Yeah. And every of the other ones of the supporting characters, it's just not necessarily in the sense that they're not necessarily all likable, but they're all respectable, right? Like it's kind of like, you work with somebody and, I don't have to like you to respect you. And some of that is the case, but it's just, they're so well written and it's so well directed. And the music I mentioned before, because it's kind of got that Southern vibe to it. Sometimes there's some soul and it's fantastic. Whoever's making the playlists are doing a great job. So
I gotta check this out because this seems right up my alley.
I feel like it's something you could, you've mentioned about watching stuff with your parents. I feel like this is something, if they like that type of show, that they would probably like this too.
Is it like more lighthearted than like, like Law and Order could be kind of heavy? Is this more lighthearted, would you say?
Yeah, I would say it's more lighthearted than Law and Order, but it definitely has its serious moments too.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah, I mean, every Law and Order, especially like SVU, obviously, like the first word being sexual, it's just like, oh my gosh, like how it's like the Pit, like how much can I take at one time? I don't know, but like you said, you spread it out, it would make sense. This, I think you could probably plow through a couple episodes a night and be fine. So
cool.
Nice.
Okay, I'm going to go into another reoccurring show. This is where I feel like Patrick and I are going to start talking together. The Capture Series 3.
Yes.
So I was finishing up a course I was doing a course from like January to April. My TV viewing was very limited during that time. And one of the shows that I was really looking forward to was The Capture, because I love the first season, especially. The second season I really liked, but I didn't love it. Maybe like a 7 out of 10. So the next season, and I might, be partial to Holiday Granger. I think she's great.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. I think she's great. I do have some issues with her character, and I'm gonna assume it's her character this season that I don't recall from the first 2 seasons. But I would say that series 3 or season 3 is it's a 6 out of 10. There were things I liked, very little that I loved, and nothing that I really hated. The whole premise is about AI and, surveillance and
Deep fakes
and things like that.
Yes.
And then I found in season 3 that it just became a bit like, I don't want to say it's far-fetched, right? Because who knows what AI can do now, right? When this show started 5 years ago or what have you, and the whole first season is about them modifying CCTV footage to make it fit the government, whatever the government wants, you're kind of like, wow, like I can't believe that's happening, or that could happen. But in 5 years, I'm kind of like, like now some of it you go, okay, but wouldn't this happen, right? Whereas, but I still think now it's just kind of like, I don't know, I guess this could happen. So, Patrick, what did you think?
I'm with you. I would say a very light 6. There were some parts that I rolled my eyes pretty hard.
Yeah.
And it was a stretch. Suspension of disbelief taken to the extreme. And there were some parts that was like, come on.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because, well, as you said, Holiday Granger.
Yeah.
I have plenty of time for
Me
her.
too.
And and Ron Perlman is great as well.
Ron Perlman's great, and I thought he was okay. No spoilers, right?
Spoiler warning.
There are some things, major things that happen in this season. Maybe to Ron Perlman's character as well. Yeah, it's weird. Like I wanted to love it because I love the first season, and the second season had its moments for sure. I wanted to like this more than I did, but I would still say, like, if somebody said watch the first season and said I loved first season 1, should I watch season 2 and 3? I would probably go, yeah, look, they're not going to be as good, but I think you'll still like them. But here's my thing with Holiday Granger that I was going to bring up. How many times do her eyes water in this season? Like she's getting upset or something, like, and she's about to cry. She's on that verge of, I don't remember that her character, I'm not saying that she didn't, I just have a terrible memory. But in the first 2 seasons, it was almost like, did she always get this upset, or did she always become this emotional? Like, I don't know. It was.
Now that you mention it, that's true. That's a good point.
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it's like the stress of the job that's starting to take its toll, I guess. But that's fair.
And in this season, she's the head, right? Like she's the acting, whatever they call her,
director of
the acting director.
What was the name? Whatever division it was called. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fine. I didn't love it. I'll never watch it again. Like it's not a repeat watch, right?
For sure.
And, we're going to kind of tie it into another show that she's in that I'm a big fan of. come soon. I'm going to leave that one till the end because that's probably my favorite thing that I've watched.
Okay.
Which I'd be surprised if you haven't started, but maybe not. Yeah. Anyway, move on.
Before I forget, have you had the chance to watch Small Profits
Yes.
and Waiting for the Out?
Yeah. So Small Profits will be in
Okay.
my top 3 shows.
Fantastic.
Waiting for the Out, I haven't started yet.
Okay.
I do have it. I think you sent it to me, so I appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, he just told me where I could watch it, everybody. It was
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that, but I haven't watched it yet.
Okay. And just a quick question. If there is a season 4 of The Capture, will you watch it?
Yes.
Okay.
I will, because I'm curious to know, but I think I would be very, very quick with it, in the sense that, because I think this one was 8 episodes?
Let's
8,
see.
yeah. No. Wait.
6.
6. So
I got 6. Yes.
Yeah, sorry, 6. So I think if after the second episode I was like, I'm out. Like, I'm not going to pursue it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's going to be on a short leash.
It's going to be. Thank you. It's going to be on a very short leash.
All right.
Okay, sticking with British television, Saturday Night Live UK.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not a huge skit show television person. I grew up watching Saturday Night Live. When you're 14 and you're not at that age where you can, go out with friends, right? Or you're hanging out with friends or whatever, and maybe you're staying up on a Saturday. And so, kind of and obviously I went back because I would buy the videotapes of the best of Eddie Murphy or the best of, Billy Crystal, whatever. But I wouldn't say it was never appointment viewing for me,
Mhm.
right? Maybe if there was a band that I really liked, I would watch it.
I'm the same, Mike. I've never been a huge SNL fan. I'll watch it in spurts, if it's clips, but I'm not a
No, me neither.
diehard.
Exactly. Listen, that's the greatest thing about YouTube, right? Is the fact that if I want to watch Jeopardy, like SNL Jeopardy, I don't have to go and watch a whole hour and a half episode. I can just go and find, Sean Connery mispronouncing whatever. And it's very quick.
Still an absolute classic.
Absolutely. I will, I
Love
can't
it.
even think of they are. Something about album covers, and it's not album covers. Right. Well, Kyle's screaming at the phone right now. So SNL UK, obviously a whole new cast, a whole new, show. And obviously it's got that British. Listen, I think if you're an American viewer and you're someone like me who has an affinity for, Anglo television as well, I don't think this is going to be a difficult transition for you, because the premise and the format is the same. Yeah, I've watched the first 3 episodes, and I think there's been 7 or 8 on as of the time we record this.
Mhm.
And I've seen skits from I think it's well done. And, I think it's because they didn't stray too far from the American format, which I think is a good thing. I think there's a guy named Jack Shep, who's one of them. If this guy doesn't become a comic household name, especially in the UK, I'd be very surprised, because kind of turns everything he touches into gold. And, some of the skits can be, it's all subjective, but it can be hit or miss. But his parts are fantastic.
Okay.
There's another guy whose name I'm going to butcher, and I apologize. Hamid Animeshon. Kind of the same thing with him as well. Fantastic. Just everything he touches, turns to gold. He's just one of those he's one of those, the two of them are those actors that you think of a Will Ferrell or a Eddie Murphy or whoever, right? Billy Crystal, who, when they were on it, you can relate. They did that character, and it's just gold, right? So for me, I think if we talk about this show in a year or 2 years, we'll see where we are. But yeah, I think it's a promising start. And having Tina Fey, call back, because I mentioned earlier, host the first episode was smart, because I think a lot of people were like, why wasn't it a Brit, right? But I think she brought, then there's another one, an actor. And again, I didn't really watch a lot of the stuff that she was on at that point, but I can, Sarah Palin, right? And all those other things that she did that were just hilarious. And, she has the ability to take a skit and make it, noteworthy and memorable. So yeah, I think that was a good call.
Nice.
I think with that show, the one that I will say that I do like is they made an effort to get names for the host and the guests, because even like the Foo Fighters and Wet Leg and Wolf Alice as guests, like for the music, and then you have Tina Fey and Riz Ahmed and people like that. Like they're clearly trying to make an effort to get folks that people
Big
have
names.
actually heard of. Can I ask a dumb question about SNL UK? Are they trying to do this when there's dead periods for regular SNL, or is it correspondent at the same time?
No,
as
same time.
regular.
Like they would have both had episodes on last night, and I think it was the final. I think I heard that it was the final like American version, American of the season last night, wasn't it? Because we're recording this on a Sunday.
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think I heard it was on the radio or something, but there was an episode last night. I can't remember who the host was.
Okay.
In Canada, they get posted onto Crave less than 24 hours after the original UK, broadcast. No, they've been consecutive. There hasn't been any.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking like what that might do if they did it like that is like they fill the void of when regular SNL is not on. Like if they went a little bit longer, like into the summer, maybe that would work to their advantage, like for the diehard SNL fans. But it seems like they're doing it at the same time as regular SNL.
Yeah, but it gives you something. And I don't know what the scheduling is like in America, but I think, here it gives you something to watch the next day too, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like watching wrestling on a Monday and a Tuesday night, right? So it's just, it gives you 2 nights of, or 2 things to watch. Now, that said, I don't know how long this season is supposed to go. I think there's been 8 episodes on so far, and I'm sure that this season will probably be a shorter one, just because I'm sure they wanted to see how it went first. And there's probably people yelling at this right now saying, well, they're doing this. No, I don't know, because I don't look up that stuff.
It seems to be 8 episodes this season. And as for the US version, it looks like the season was ended yesterday. And Will Ferrell was the host and Paul McCartney was the guest.
Oh, wow. Cool.
So, yes.
I have to check that out. Yeah, so it's good. I would recommend it if Saturday Night Live is your thing, or you're looking for a good British comedy, you like that kind of stuff, that would be the way to go. All right, my 2 shows that I did like, I'm going to end with the one I really liked, but I'll start with this one. There's a Kiwi show, a New Zealand show called Crackhead.
Okay.
Now, you would think it's a comedy, right? And it definitely has some dark comic elements. However, it's about it's about a lady named Frankie, who's played by Holly Shervey, who's a Kiwi actor, and she basically is kind of like a party girl. It's not a spoiler to tell you, because this is what sets up the story. She kills somebody in a car accident.
Okay.
She basically is given the option of you're going to prison or you can go to rehab. So she chooses, or is basically told, you're going to rehab. And it's about her time in rehab and other people that are in the rehab facility with her. It's, kind of becomes the cast of characters, right? And it's, there's a lot of mental health issues throughout the series. There's a lot of, PTSD, but there's these comedic elements as well. And you would think, like, how do they mix? But they actually mix pretty well. Like, I think the writing was done with some real integrity and some real thoughtfulness. It's not an easy watch. I wouldn't say it's like the Pitt in the sense that it's anxiety producing, right? Like it's not making your heart, palpitate or anything, but it's not easy. I remember I love the movie Trainspotting, and I would argue it's probably my favorite movie of all time. And I couldn't help, I was 21 when it came out or something like that. And I remember I couldn't wait to tell my parents, you got to watch Trainspotting. And at the end of it, both my parents were like, are you okay? Like, that was super dark, right? Like, this show is kind of like that in the sense that there's not many elements of sunshine, but it's so well done. The acting is fantastic, and it's just thoughtful, and it's very, like, this is what some people go through, and they're not to be laughed at, and they're not to be ridiculed. It's, they're to be, taken care of and helped, but you need elements of light to focus on the dark, right? So it's worth seeing if what I've said's intrigued you. I've seen 6 out of the 8 episodes, and yeah, I don't know. I can't. It's good. It's not an easy watch, but it's very well done, and it's not light family viewing by any stretch. Or the guy who goes, "You should watch Son of a Critch," and you should watch Game. It's not those. It's not those at all.
How did you hear of that show?
Another TV podcast that I listened to.
The Watch?
What's that? No, this was
not The Watch. Must Watch?
No, this is I listened to one from Australia, so I guess this is on in Australia as well. Let me just find it. I'm terrible with names. TV Gold. It's called TV Gold, and the person who hosts it, and my thumbnail is so small I can't. Andrew Mikado and James Manning are both TV critics in Australia. And Andrew Mikado, I think, actually liked a tweet that I wrote years and years ago.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
Something. So it was interesting. But anyway, I don't have Twitter anymore, so you can't find me, or X. But yeah, I like it because they'll talk about a lot of times about Kiwi shows, Australian shows, or what have you. And that intrigued me. So I procured it. And is that the right word? I don't even know. It's late.
In Australia, it's on HBO Max.
Okay.
So I wonder if it's available here as well.
So on Just Watch, it says it's not. But it might be in the States. And it's actually, I don't know. I knew there was a big tie-in down there with it. But
okay.
What was the name of the show again, Mike?
Crackhead.
Oh, how could I forget the Crackhead?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you. Okay, so the very first episode, right? She's out, she's partying. I don't know how old she's supposed to be, late 20s, early 30s, whatever. And she is like the toast of the town kind of, like she's a party girl, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the first 2 minutes, she picks up a guy, takes him to the bathroom with her. And as they're getting to know each other, she vomits.
Ooh.
Right?
That's going well.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like, it's one of those dark, you think, am I supposed to laugh at this? Or is this right? Because it's all new at that point, and you're like, she's out having a great time or whatever. But it sets you up for what you're in for. So yeah, it's a really interesting start. So yeah, I mean, we're laughing because it sounds so absurd, but it's just, it's really well done.
I'm seeing that the episodes are only 22 minutes.
Yeah, they're like a half-hour show.
That's like perfect, because if you wanted to just kind of watch a show really quick, you could just kind of plow through it.
And I wouldn't want it to be any longer, because I think it's kind of nice to know it's going to end soon.
Doesn't seem to be available for streaming either in the US or in Canada.
Okay.
So time to go, time to get creative.
Yeah, it is. That's how I found it. I got creative. So yeah, I mean, on
like a crackhead
on IMDb, and I know you guys use Letterboxd and stuff, but IMDb, it's like 8.3 out of 10, 9.3 out of 10, 9.1 out of 10. It's very well done.
Okay.
But just be warned.
Hopefully it makes its way here.
Yeah, I think it will. This is one of those shows I feel in Canada that CBC Gem would pick up. And then they wouldn't promote, and you would just be scanning. You'd be like, oh my gosh, they got this. Because it kind of, we've been having some conversations in our group chat about state-run television lately a little bit. And, Patrick and I are big fans of the CBC and, and the purpose of it. I won't say anything about what's happening south of us, Nick, but I feel like this is one of those shows that they could get a good deal on and put it on there, and somebody will find it and go, wow, like I've just found this great show. So,
yep.
Yeah.
Sounds interesting. You happy I'd vomit?
Yeah. Okay. Now the best thing, and again, I'm not through all this yet, but if it stays the way it started, I'm 2 episodes out of 6. But this will probably be in my top 5 of the year, unless things go off the rails. I didn't even know this show was coming. I had no idea about it. We turned on Netflix, and I'm like, hey, that's Steve Coogan. And the show is Legends.
It's on my list.
I knew it would be.
Yes. Nice.
So what do you think? Go, you start, because we're, your show.
I mean, it's I didn't know about it either, and I was like, okay, there's Netflix series, okay, fine, all right, and like I kept hearing good things about it and kept hearing it mentioned elsewhere, and I was like, okay, screw it, I'll give it a shot. and it's legit good.
Yeah.
It's not good for, in air quotes, it's not good for Netflix. It is legit good.
Yeah. Are you done it?
I'm halfway.
Okay, so you've got an extra episode on me.
Yes.
I added this to my queue today. How weird is that?
And that's awesome.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Steve Coogan, so I was introduced to him. My wife introduced me to him years ago as Alan Partridge, right? Which is this comical character that's huge in the UK, and you know, it's goofy and silly but funny. But if you didn't realize he's a wonderful dramatic actor, this show will slap you across the face to prove that point. It is. Yeah. He is so good in this so far.
Very funny, but very dry.
Very dry. He steals every scene he's in.
Yes.
And so this show is based on the true story
of a book. Yes.
Of a book that's, Nick, I don't know if you're aware, but when Maggie Thatcher was prime minister, all of a sudden, heroin starts to, not that heroin wasn't around before that, but it starts to get, become more predominant in the late 80s, early 90s. And after a couple overdoses that get big media attention, they basically put together this task force of customs agents because it's like, hey, we want you to bust all these drug lords, but we're not going to give you any resources. We're not going to give you any money about it. You got to do it with what you got. And it's fantastic. So again, circling back to what I was mentioning earlier about Holiday Granger being in Strike, Tom Burke, who plays Strike, plays Guy in this. Again, I'm only 2 episodes in, but unless this thing goes off the rails, this will be in my top 5 shows along with Small Profits at the end of the year, because I just can't wait to watch every new episode. I just need to find time. If there's anybody who can expand the day from 24 hours to about 28 hours, I would love that, because this show is just, I love it so far. So
yeah, it's about on Metacritic, it's 75, I think. Good reviews all around, and it's really good. Tom Burke, as you mentioned, Hayley Squires, who was in The Night Manager season 2.
Yep.
Don't watch The Night Manager season 2, but I'm just saying that she was in it as well. It's fantastic, and it's also like a good thing, quote unquote, that it takes place in the 90s because it solves the problem of CCTV being everywhere and cell phones being everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, there are cell phones, like in episode 2, he makes a call. And that's one of the great things too, is that the office there's literally 7 people on this crew or something like that. And if Steve Coogan or I don't remember the other character's name, but if one of those two are not in the office, they're just calling and nobody's answering. And they're like, we need help here. Right. So it is great. And I hope that the next episode I can come back and, say, hey, we finished it, and it's just stays as awesome. So
Erin is the other girl who stays in the office. Yes. No, it's really good. Yeah. And before we started recording, Nick, we talked a bit about filler episodes and, saying how much there was all around.
Yeah.
This is 6 episodes. This is lean and mean. It's really good.
You say that about this, and I would say the same thing about Crackhead, in the sense that they do a really good job in Crackhead of kind of weaving in her backstory so you can kind of figure out how she got there and stuff. Because, like I said, with the whole vomit thing in the first episode, in the first few minutes, this is not good, right? I can figure out already that this show does that as well. It's the way they introduce the topic, the way the character of Dawn by Steve Coogan, and how they get these people on board, it all moves super quick.
Yeah,
but it's not they're drilling it down your throat. It's just because they're still incorporating these characters and you're figuring out how they're getting to this point as well. It's just, like you said, lean and mean, which is a great way to put it. So
was that your last?
It is. I'm just going to mention one thing. I like to give a YouTube thing, everybody lives, and
Yes, please.
If you're a music fan, my suggestion on YouTube, my recommendation is BBC Music, the channel called BBC Music. They have a lot of artists who come in, or they, especially now that it's festival season in Britain, they don't necessarily broadcast the whole day of Glastonbury, the whole day of whatever, Tea in the Park in Glasgow, but they'll take pieces and they'll post them on YouTube, and they're all obviously professionally shot, brilliant, whatever. but also Radio 2, BBC Radio 2 have what they call the piano room. I sent our friend Nick, who's on the screen below us here, below you, in my vantage point. So Jules Holland, who used to be the pianist in Squeeze, has had his own music show on BBC for decades now. Well, Squeeze was on last night and he joined them, and that's the first time in years.
Nice.
And those clips are on YouTube officially, and it's fantastic. So anyway, if you're a music fan, a music lover like myself, and yeah, that's a great channel to subscribe to because a lot of great stuff comes up.
Perfect.
So
Nick, were you okay?
I'm so sorry. I was just gonna say I love Squeeze. So when Mike said it, I was like, "Oh, this is lovely." So
yeah, I knew he liked him, but it was great just to see them on stage again. Like I saw Squeeze 15 years ago, and they were fantastic, and they still are fantastic. But just the whole history of like them not playing together for so long, and they do a classic Squeeze song. It's brilliant. So
nice,
wonderful.
All right, thank you, Mike. All right, so I have a few shows as well. We talked about a few of them in the chat, but unfortunately, Woody and Tony are not here. So I would have liked to bounce ideas off of them regarding two shows, especially, but I'll try and do it solo. The Punisher, One Last Kill. This is a single episode, if you like, or not spin-off, but you know what I mean. 51 minutes on Disney Plus. I liked it, but I felt it dragged a little bit at times. But, we know his backstory, so I'm not going to, get into that. But I got to say that the action scenes and the fight scenes are fantastic. So it was, good 51 minutes, well spent. But should I go into spoilers?
Sure.
Okay, so I thought the way the little girl acted all happy after an absolute massacre happened around her was quite jarring. But okay, I'll just say that. Okay, so next up, there was a separate episode of The Bear called Gary, with, again, Bernthal and Ebon Moss-Bacharach, yes, and like a flashback from a few years, from 5 years. Episode, flashback early 2019. Richie's pregnant wife, Tiff, is close to her due date. Richie and Mikey, so Bernthal and Bacharach, get a job from Jimmy, Oliver Platt, and take an emotionally charged road trip from Chicago to Gary, Indiana. So we talked about this one a little bit. I thought the part in the bar when Bernthal talks to the woman, that part is fantastic. But almost everything else, like the basketball game, is a little bit cringe. Almost everything else is them, finding different ways to tell each other to go fuck themselves, like The Bear, as it does. You guys have been watching The Bear, right?
I saw the first 2 seasons.
Did you bail, or sorry, Nick? Did you bail?
I did.
You're done with it?
Yeah, I love season 2.
Okay.
I don't like the Jamie Lee Curtis episode, which a lot of people did. Season 1 took me a lot to get. I could tell right away the acting was fantastic, but I've said this before, like my wife said, why are all these Americans yelling at each other? So I feel like that one-off is probably very similar to that.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Nick, you were gonna say?
I bailed after season 3 because that was the one where it was very consistent. And then I was going to watch it last year that I totally forgot. And then I think our friend group was like, yeah, it's not that good. And I was like, okay, I'm just not going to continue then.
Yeah. And I've been now that we have some distance from it, from the end of season 4, I think the jumping the shark moment from that series was when Carm locked himself in the freezer.
Yeah.
I think from that point onwards, it was spinning its wheels and not bringing anything new to the table, if you like.
Mm-hmm.
So I just listened to the newest episode of that TV Gold. I was doing some work outside today. I listened, and they talk about that, the one episode. So the male, they use the term male toxicity.
Yes. Yeah, it applies. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that they kind of struggled with that. I love the character of Richie. Like he was probably the reason I kept watching after season 1 because I just wanted to see him progress and grow. And then season 2 I think he's brilliant in that. But yeah, it's done nothing. And when it kind of showed up, I'm like, did anybody know this was coming?
I didn't.
So, and I know that's the thing, right? I mean, I'm in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, and as we speak, I mean, I don't know how much you heard about this, but Drake, who is a huge, R&B rap artist, released 3 albums on Friday.
3?
3.
I didn't know.
Yep.
I thought it was only 1.
And,
okay, shit,
and there
okay.
had been promo in Toronto leading up over the last couple of weeks. Like there was this huge ice sculpture that went up a few weeks ago. And nobody knew what it was for, but they assumed, like they were like, I think it's for Drake's new album or something like that, because it was buried in the middle as the ice was apparently supposed to melt. It was going to reveal like what this was. And then the other day, they had this really cool effect on the CN Tower, because one of them is the ice, or he's known as the Iceman or something like that. And they did this really cool illusion of ice on the CN Tower. But the reason that I make that connection is because no one knew he was going to drop 3 albums, right? Let alone, I guess, hey, I think Taylor Swift dropped 1 album once and nobody knew it was coming. And then to drop 2 albums, well, let's go even bigger than that. So when that showed up, like I have Google TV on my television, right? And when I turned it on once, it was just like, I was like, there's this season of The Bear. It seems to be like a prequel because I saw that Mikey was in it. And I was like, I had no idea. And then I found out it was a one-off. But I almost wonder if it's because they knew it wasn't going to be well received, right? I don't know.
That's a good point.
I don't.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's a flashback. So we see Richie at his worst.
Right.
Before he, evolved.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. And I don't know. It's a really good point, actually.
I don't know, right?
That would make a lot of sense.
That's a lot of this. They spend, even that being kind of that opening screen when I turn on my TV, I'm sure that studio was paying for that, but I heard nothing about it before that. And we keep in with our group chat and, social media, like we kind of keep on top of all that stuff.
I didn't look up the reviews. I might as well do it right now. The Bear, Gary, Metacritic. Come on.
I will say that The Guardian didn't care for Legends.
Oh, really? How come?
Yeah, they gave it like 3 stars. I don't know. If you read the review, it doesn't seem negative.
Okay.
So I couldn't really figure out where they took away 2 of the stars. Like I figured, because it was there was a lot of praise and, I don't know. It was interesting. Maybe you can read it and see if you can notice something that I didn't catch, but
it's saying 79 for the
out of 7 critic reviews, that seems really high. Well, I mean, it's well executed, but it wasn't like, it was like, get on with it at some point.
I feel like The Bear's one of those shows that really gets almost overpraised. I don't know. I feel like The Bear kind of gets like, 'cause even the season 3, like that got pretty good reviews. And I was like, this is not the show it once was, because I used to really like the show. I wonder if they made this during the Dog Day Afternoon, because they were doing that play together. John and Yvonne. So I'm curious if because how long is the episode? Would you say like an hour, give or take?
Yeah.
I wonder if they made that during like a dress rehearsal or something. That's what, because isn't it just like just them really, right?
Pretty much, yes. Well, I mean, like really quick, scenes with Oliver Platt and Gillian Jacobs, his wife. So, maybe I'll check out the next season whenever it comes, but it's going to be on a short leash, I think.
Well, this next one's the last season, right, for The Bear?
I think so, yeah.
It needs to end.
And it's isn't it in September or
June.
July?
June.
Oh, shit.
I think they always came out in June, if I'm not mistaken.
June 25th. Okay, June 25th. All right. So, yes. So that's it. Okay, so what else do we have? Oh, so speaking of last season and series ending, The Boys, season 5. Well, we talked about filler episodes earlier. This fits the bill. I think the last 2 seasons have been not good, honestly. Like, plenty of ultra violence, and that's fun. But everything else, the writing, I remember mentioning that at the end of season 4, writing took a drop. And this season, it's been like, how many dick jokes can we fit into one episode? It really feels that way. And it's like I felt it was always like taking the shortcut to the easiest, laziest even humor. Like, you get one of them, I forgot her name, but she thinks she is a cat. So of course she's going to lick herself at some point. And all you see reaction shots of Mother's Milk and Annie. And it was like, this is dog shit, sorry. No, maybe not dog shit, but like, it's more than time for it to end. Anthony Starr is still fantastic as Homelander. His face acting is top notch. I gotta say that the guy who played Frenchie, his French is horrendous. I had to mention it because, I'm not gonna go into detail, but it's like simply not good, and some parts like didn't make sense. And that's something I should have mentioned in the TV tropes, bitching about TV tropes part of the last episode.
Accents?
Yes, and like not necessarily accents, because I know it's not easy, but like just straight up wrong translations. You could have had a 10-minute call in a language school, and they would have given you the right, the right phrasing and the right everything for, peanuts. And they still fucked it up.
You're available to do this.
Yeah, actually I am. And, shit. Anyway, okay. I'm not going to go into detail, but no. So yeah, as good as the first couple seasons were, it's time for it to.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a couple of spin-offs, I think. And I think I'm going to skip them. I'm done with that ecosystem, if you like, or universe. Okay, next up. You guys remember The Agency with Michael Fassbender?
Of course.
I watched the first season of the original series, the French series, The Bureau, in French, Le Bureau des Légendes. And it's not identical, but it's really, really close, season 1 to, season 1 of the other. It's fantastic. Even though I knew everything that was going to happen, it's still fantastic.
Is the guy who's in that show, in that French movie from the 90s, La Haine, like Kate? Is that the guy? Okay, he's a wonderful actor.
Mathieu Kassovitz, yes. He did some directing as well, but he is a really good actor, that's true.
I like him a lot. I think he's a wonderful actor.
Yes.
What's that on?
Let me see. Well, Canal Plus. Yeah, okay, that helps. Fuck. Okay, let me find it. The Bureau.
It looks like in the States it's on Paramount Plus.
The French?
Okay. Yes.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
In Canada as well, it looks like. And Sundance now. Oh, okay. But Paramount Plus in Canada as well, looks like. It's really good. And
Paramount.
Because season 2 of The Agency isn't out, I stopped myself because I really would love to, keep going with The Bureau. But I'm gonna wait until the next season of The Agency is out. But it's really good. Okay, what else? Oh, Jesus. This episode is gonna last for like 3 hours. Okay, Legends, we talked about it already. Okay, Nick, before we started recording, I mentioned a show. One of the shows that I jumped on the moving train was Industry.
Oh, yeah.
I watched only season 4 and haven't seen the first 3 seasons yet. I did the same thing with another show that's running right now called Euphoria.
Oh, yes.
On HBO. I kind of knew what was going on in the first 2 seasons, but this season is a bit, not gonna say confusing, but Sam Levinson, yes, Barry's son. I mean, the only word I could think of is exploitative. It's like Levinson gives me the impression that he enjoys watching his characters suffer, and he enjoys putting them through the ringer. it gets pretty grim at times. It's kind of schlocky. I don't know if that's the right word, but I mean, it's well shot and it's got a really distinct look, and the actors are, all in on their performance, and that's fine. But it's kind of like if someone told me that they watched a couple episodes and they felt gross watching it and they bailed, would be like, I understand completely. So yeah, does that constitute a recommendation? I don't know.
Isn't it an A24 show? Because that's like their biggest show, probably A24. Oh, it's on HBO Max, of course, on HBO,
Yes.
but I think A24 produces it.
Yes, production companies, A24, among others. So, okay. But, yeah, I'm going to keep watching, but it's a strange ride. Let's see. I mean, it's well done, but it feels a bit gross, for lack of a better term. Okay, what else? Mr. Inbetween from Australia.
Yes.
It rings a bell?
Yeah, I know what it is. I haven't watched it. I've heard good things about it. He's not a debt collector, is he? He's like
he's muscle for a like a bar owner or something,
right.
and slash hitman kind of. Okay, so it was on FX a few years ago, so it's probably findable in North America. So it ran for 3 seasons. I watched 2 of them, and I would say jump in on it.
Yeah,
I recommend it. It's fantastic.
I've heard good things.
Yeah, it's like anti-hero kind of. You could say. I think it's like only from 21 to 32 minutes an episode. So it.
Yeah. And he has a daughter, right? Does he not have a daughter?
Yes.
Okay, I remember.
Yes,
I remember the show.
And yeah, she is great. She is adorable.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a dark humor. Many times, and yeah, the guy is an absolute head case.
Yeah.
And jump on it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
It's on Hulu in the States.
Yep. Okay.
I think
FX,
it's a Fox production, so that makes sense.
FX Australia originally, or Fox Australia, sorry, and FX US. There you go, and Hulu, I guess. Okay. Yeah, because it ran from 2018 to 2021. So, okay, a few years old. So, yes. And my last show, this came out of nowhere. I'm not sure. This was so unexpected because I'm not even sure how to approach it. I heard about it from another podcast. Never heard of that series before. From 1978, from ITV in the UK, the Sandbaggers.
Don't know.
Okay, okay. I see a look of surprise.
Don't know that one.
Okay, good.
The Sandbaggers is not what I was thinking of when that lead up.
There you go. So, okay, 1978. So the Cold War, and like it's on like 4:3 aspect ratio, standard definition, like 90% or maybe 85% takes place in an office. It's like the MI6, but only from the operations planning point of view. It's like John le Carré, but like zero glamour. It's like the complete opposite of James Bond.
Okay.
Like people, morally compromised, zero budget, zero resources. The guy, the boss, the director of operations has to fight internal bureaucracy and his boss as well. And he's like, and it is 78. So he's got like, he only has landlines, and he's on the phone with the station chief in Vienna. So, we have this guy who went to Moscow last year and now he is in Vienna. So is he defecting to the east? And like, shit, okay, so do we send someone? Yeah, we only have 3 field agents available. So do we send one of them? And what do we do with this guy? But that guy and like his boss say, "Oh, he knows this guy, and that cannot be right. He's a personal friend of this guy." So, and they have limited information, and they are trying to work with that as well. It is so good.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the writing is really on point, top notch, because again, from 78, it like the script doesn't hold your hand. It really respects the viewers. If you like, you really have to pay attention. And it's like I had no idea a show with this description would be so good.
Nice. Yeah, I'm looking at it online, and there's some well-known British actors. Yeah, and it's on Tubi, Kyle. It's on Tubi.
Okay, because
speaking Kyle's language,
it's on BritBox as well. I think so. Yeah, and I haven't seen anything close to this. Maybe Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. Maybe, but yeah, I because you cannot compare it to Slow Horses. Really, you cannot compare it to other stuff like. It's like. It is so good.
So
that's awesome.
Patrick, I gotta just say something.
Yes.
Look at this guy's Wikipedia. Do you know about his death, or like why the show ended essentially? This is crazy ass shit. This should be like a movie or a series in its own right.
Yep. Okay, so we are not gonna spoil that. The guy, the series is The Sandbaggers in one word. The creator was Ian McIntosh, and from 78 to 80. Look it up if you want to know more. This was like, I don't know if it's probably gonna be in our top 5 this year.
Wow.
But when it comes to surprises, this is an all-timer. I've never heard of this show before. This is 45 years old.
Yeah.
And like, how come no one talked about this?
That's wild.
Who's sandbagging them?
Well, okay, so the Sandbaggers is like the nicknames of the field agents because they only have 3 of them available, and they are the best, like the James Bond, quote unquote. And since they only have 3 of them in Cold War time, you have to use them wisely,
Right.
So that's another factor to consider.
That's wild. I'll have to ask my wife. I don't know if
it's so good.
Like I'm just looking at the actors, and I'm like, I know him, and I know him, and but I don't know. Or maybe her dad is probably the guy to ask, because he probably, if he was interested, he watches these types of shows too. So it kind of reminds me, and it's very different. But when you said it doesn't lead you by the hand, there's an old British comedy, like probably around the same time, late 70s, early 80s, called Yes Minister.
I've heard about it.
So I appreciate it more now, right? Because I see clips, or I've watched the odd episode or what have you. And again, it doesn't lead you by the hand, and it's comic. So, and it has the terrible laugh track and stuff, but it's so well written in the sense that you're like, somebody must have worked at 10 Downing Street or something. You know what I mean? And like, just because some of the inside jargon, and again, they don't clarify it for you. You have to
figure it out. Yes.
Figure it out, the connotation, the context of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's what makes it hilarious. You're just like, oh my God, right? But yeah, this is wild. I've never heard of this. And like you were saying, Nick, we won't give the story away, but wow. Just kind of scanning through the Wikipedia page too.
Yes.
I was like, holy mackerel, that's making me curious, because then you wonder if the show ended, or what, I'm trying to say, or if the show was affected because of the circumstances that happened. You know what I mean? I'm fascinated, but now this is I'm a librarian, so now this is gonna leave me on a rabbit goose chase.
It was on the CBC here in Canada. Just saying.
Oh, okay. Yes Minister, you mean, or this?
No, Sandbaggers.
Oh, really?
So
okay. Jesus.
Yeah. Nationwide in the 80s.
Okay.
Which doesn't surprise me, because ITV is also Coronation Street. Coronation Street. So I bet you there's like a lot of, purchasing from each other at that point.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that. So yeah, that's my number one surprise this year. Not even close.
And did you find it difficult to watch something that's in 4:3?
Yeah, at first, yes. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. And that's another thing that I needed to adjust to. I was glad I could find subtitles because like they are in London, so they speak standard pretty much, but I don't know.
Yeah, the Cockney, a strong Cockney accent. I mean, I don't know where these actors are from, and that doesn't mean that they're all from London or the surrounding areas, but a strong Cockney accent can be difficult. But I would be surprised. It's almost like quote unquote common, that kind of. So I would imagine if you're working in MI5 or what have you, you probably have more of the BBC, what they call the BBC English, right? Where it's the announcers and the news presenters are very, I don't want to say posh, but you know what I mean? Understandable. Let's put it that way.
No, absolutely. And like for me, non-native, it's always welcome. So the series was produced in Leeds by Yorkshire Television.
Yeah, wow.
Yorkshire, yes, yes. Okay. Yeah.
It's on Tubi.
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay. In Canada as well?
Yeah, I actually have the app on my phone, so let me just double check.
Oh, yeah, please.
You heard this on another podcast?
Yes. The podcast was, I think it was on The Big Picture. That podcast is on Netflix.
Okay.
With
Is that Sean Fantasy's podcast, Amanda Dobbins?
Yes. But like on that episode, I think it was only Fantasy and Chris Ryan. And I think, oh, nice.
There it is.
Awesome. Fantastic. And I think it was Chris Ryan who mentioned Sandbaggers and how mind-blowing it was. Maybe at the time, I don't know, maybe that's why it went like unnoticed, because I don't know, maybe it wasn't that unusual at the time, that kind of writing, TV writing. But like now, Jesus, a breath of fresh air.
Nice.
A 50-year-old breath of fresh air. Oh, no, so yeah, excellent.
I think a lot of people, and probably me when I was a kid, I think a lot of times when those types of shows were shown on TV here, like in Canada, or I don't want to talk for the Americans, but I think that's why a lot of people think like some British television is dry, right?
Yeah.
And it has that, I don't know, stereotype, because that's not the case. In 2026, there's so much selection and choice and what have you. But yeah, I think that there was sometimes, because it didn't punch down, right? Like,
yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
It sometimes even punched up. They didn't, like you said earlier, they didn't write like it
for morons.
Yeah, I'm trying to think the way you phrased it. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Doesn't hold your hand.
Yeah, it doesn't hold your hand, right? It's
or
just
something like that. Yeah.
Here's what we want to say, and that's why we're going to say it, and hopefully you get it. And if not, then
well, I mean, like if you pay attention, you're gonna. It's right there. You pay attention, you're going to get it.
Yeah.
But you need to pay attention.
You know what? We talked about MI5 or Spooks earlier. And I think I watched it. It was on in the UK when I was living there. And I think there was a lot of action and stuff in it as well. But I think that's one of the reasons I really liked it, was because it didn't insult your intelligence, right?
Yeah.
So, I would say 24 was the same. The first season of 24, I thought it was brilliant.
Oh, okay. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's an American show. So, I mean, I don't think...
I had no idea, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think either... Again, they both moved very quick and there was a lot of action and a lot of, but I think they didn't make it... Even a dummy could understand it. It'd be like, oh, okay. As long as you were following along, everything was fine. So...
Yep. So, I hope you guys check it out.
Yeah.
I would love to have your opinion.
I need to find some time, and I would gladly delve into this world with you.
Well, the school year will be over soon, so...
That's a big sigh. I don't know if you heard that.
I'm leaving that in for sure.
It looks like it's only 20 episodes, so it's not too much, I guess.
No.
Yep. Yeah, 3 seasons, 20 episodes total. I've only watched 3 of them so far. So, yes, and I'm a bit annoyed that as you said, Mike, only 24 hours in a day, and I have all this work bullshit to take care of. Otherwise, I would binge the shit out of it.
That's awesome.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just reading some of the stuff on Wikipedia, and the plots are complex, multi-layered, and unpredictable. Regular characters are killed off abruptly, and surprise twists abound.
Okay. And like you can think of the Leonardo meme, like, pointing at the TV. Finally, good TV. Smart TV that doesn't think you're a fucking idiot,
That's the term, smart TV, right?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Jesus.
This could lead to a good question. Like we had the question of what's the best series that only went for one season? Remember we had that?
Yeah.
So something could be like, what's the best smart show, or you know what I mean? Something that like this, right? I guess we probably know your answer already.
It would be up there, but like we can dig into that a little bit. I think the potential problem, let's say, with smart, and I'm air quotes like crazy, but like potential problem with smart shows is that it could get up its own ass, But I get what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I just, like I mentioned with Yes Minister, I think there's still a lot of comedies. I can think of couple top of my head that never spoke down to the viewer, right? Even though, I don't know, I just thought it might be a fun topic. But like you said, I can see it easily getting a little full of itself very quickly.
Speaking of, 10 Downing Street, I'm pretty sure I asked you that question in the past, but have you seen the thick of it?
Yes. That's a great show too.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Hannah? What's his name?
Peter Capaldi.
Not John Hannah.
Yeah, Malcolm Tucker.
That's right.
And in the first season, Jimmy McDonald, is that it? The Scottish, the angry, the crustiest man in Scotland.
Yes. Sorry, I'm so bad with names.
Shut it, Love Actually. You want a whole punch in the face?
Yeah, the thick of it's great. The thick of it is fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
In the Loop. Have you watched it? It was a movie with those characters. Peter Capaldi. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so check it out. It's really good. You saw it,
yes,
Nick, right?
That's a great movie. James Gandolfini's in it for the American listeners.
Yes, and check it out. It's great. So I guess that takes care of TV.
Well, for three of us, we went a long time. Sorry, listeners.
But you know what? Hopefully, it was worth it, listeners.
Hopefully, I think it was. Honestly,
I think so too.
Yeah.
Between us three, we have a bunch of recommendations over a bunch of different genres.
And some things to avoid.
Yes, absolutely. And we go around the world as well, so I'm happy.
Awesome.
All right. Okay, so until next time, where can we reach you guys online? Nick?
You can find me at Rock and Retropod, where I have Mike and Patrick often as guests. So we're trying to figure out an episode for them to be on in the very near future. So stay on the lookout for that.
Awesome. Thank you. Mike, what about you?
Blue Sky and Instagram, Pickies with Filters, PICIES with filters.
Fantastic. Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry for the short notice.
And I'm sorry if I made it crash earlier. You didn't know that, listeners, because Patrick does such a great job of editing it.
Well, thanks. And drop us a line at ETF Pod, almost everywhere. Sorry, Nick, you were going to say?
I took a sip of water, so I'm sorry.
Sorry. Okay. No, that's okay. And guys, if you haven't listened to episode 100,
the best.
Do so. Yeah. It's everyone had their 105 miles an hour fastball that night. Jesus.
That was Game 7 of the World Series. The Jays lost, and it was still a great game.
I just showed up to that episode. I was like, yes.
That's true. Yeah.
It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
And congrats again, Patrick, on lasting 101 episodes. If this makes it, I'm sorry, we went a long time.
No. That's not a problem. All right, so thank you guys again, and thank you, listeners. We will catch you on the next one. Thanks.